Hi Kiwi, and welcome back at long last to Hades 2. Last time we played this, we were in early access. We did about 30 runs. Now we're going to play it all the way through, see every bit of story we can. Here we go.
Tales are told of Hades, whose reign as grim lord of the dead came to a sudden end when all at once his past caught up with him. But gods do not go quietly, and history repeats. So this tale was only a matter of time.
In typical fashion, I'm going to maintain silence for the most part when characters are talking until we get to the point of the game where everything is repeating itself. Because I really value voice acting, and I really value the voice acting that Supergiant Games puts into its games. So I'm going to try and appreciate it. If you didn't notice in our save files, I had a speedrunning file because I was just doing some casual speedruns, and I also had a more personal file where I did about 50 runs. I did get the original ending. I have not seen the new ending that they've added as like a new incantation. So I am really looking forward to seeing that, and there's a lot of the main story that I have not experienced. I was mostly I couldn't wait to play more, and I wasn't ready to start.
It's just a spell. It's just another spell. 10 words. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
I wasn't quite ready to record at the time because we were going through so much stuff in the background. If you need context on that, well, I think I'm done bringing it up at this point, but everything was on fire and it was rough. Anyway, let's go ahead and just say hello to good old Apollo.
Greetings from Olympus and well met there, Sunshine. Look, we can't get to the Titan, but if you truly mean to stop him, then the least I can do is light your way down.
All right, let's see. We get his attack. I would love to get his special because it does really well on the Staff of Melanoe. Lucid Gain wouldn't be a bad option here. I think I'll take Lucid Gain so that I can try and maintain my mana for now, and hope if I can get a better special later on.
Wastrels.
Since we're not running on time, or we're not on a time limit, I'm gonna see if I can get away with. But let's see how far I can get. Like, we're not meant to win this run. I feel like that's pretty much a given, but we'll see how far we can get. Another one important thing to say is, I guess, a little bit of an intro to the channel for newcomers. Hi, my name is Jeff. This is for Kiwi, a channel I have made for my partner Kiwi, previously girlfriend, fiance, and now wife, as all things have turned out, oddly enough. Like, that's definitely a far thought from what I expected in my lifetime. Anyway, I digress. We are a pair of introverts that like to fall asleep to video games, speedruns, live commentary, or I guess not really live commentary, but commentary nonetheless. And to help Kiwi fall asleep, my partner, I started making this channel almost 2 years ago, believe it or not, which is kind of wild to me, honestly. But that's the purpose of this channel. It is, as the name implies, for Kiwi. It is a channel to help Kiwi fall asleep, and if nothing else, make her laugh or give her something to distract her from the ongoings of life that really just, we need those distractions from every now and again. I have spent a lot of time playing Hades 1, and far less time playing Hades 2. If I'm picking my favorite, I do think Hades 1 is my favorite, but I have not played enough of Hades 2 to really form a consistent opinion on that front.
Mistress told me so much about you. And now at last we meet. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Now, I don't intend to be a Hades channel.
You look just like your mother. I'll not lose her again. I shall freeze hell in its entirety if that is what it takes to get her back. You'll help me, won't you, granddaughter?
Oh, yes, we will. All right, let's see. What's a decent attack? I'd ideally like her cast. Steady growth isn't bad, but I don't think we're going to make it far enough. Honestly, I'm going to take Ice Strike because it'll freeze enemies and give us some survivability. There's another Apollo Gate with a mini-boss. It'll be a little sketchy, but we got the easier to deal with mini-boss, I think, for this sort of situation. I want to try and take out her roots as soon as possible. Ah, shoot. I didn't need to take that hit. Right. Okay, I have to keep in mind that I only have 20 or 30 HP. We're going to be spamming special as much as possible, Omega Special specifically, but realistically speaking, my goal is to beat the boss of Erebus if I can, and we'll go from there. I have the ability to play as slow as I'd like. I don't really want to because it's a little too slow for my sensibilities, but I mean, I'm not going to win if I don't play some degree of safe. Need to remember that I have freeze on my attack now, which does make us a lot safer, but I am taking far more hits than I should. Anyway, so that's the main idea of this channel. It's, if you want to use it to fall asleep, great. If you find some of the more live commentary or more involved things that I make. Like my cursed playlist I'm pretty proud of are just little crafting projects. Or not necessarily crafting projects, but projects I have undertaken. I think I'll take his dash. Apollo's dash is actually pretty darn great. Days to make enemies miss you can give us a lot of early survivability, and with our lack of HP starting off, we're going to need every ounce of survivability we can afford to get. But anyway, so I have a cursed playlist, I call it. It's basically a playlist where I make little editing or personal interest projects that don't really fit the other like more let's play focused nature of this channel. That playlist is just like my little pet projects that I come across, and I have a couple in the works. Who knows if they'll ever see the light of day or not, but I'd like to think that they will one day with a lot of time, patience, and effort.
Golden coins.
I have to remember that I do not have a means of healing right now. I can afford a boon, so we'll go for the mid shop. But yeah, and I also do some casual voice acting on the side. I'm not professional by any means. It is exclusively a hobby.
I'm in your debt, Lord Charon. These provisions surely shall make all the difference in my task. What gold I find is yours.
Apollo, please give us your special. I could really use the AoE up. Let's see. All right, 60% more damage on our special. It's not the strongest, but it is decent. It now hits in a larger area and does 60% more damage, and I think I take the HP as much as I'd like more damage, which arguably more damage means more survivability, but I do genuinely believe that I think I need to start with some survivability in the terms of just actual tankiness before I worry about anything else. And with this AoE up on the special, I am safe to just kind of keep my distance and kill things from a pretty far away distance. But yeah, so I casually voice act. If you want probably my best work, and again, I say best loosely in terms of like, I know it's bad to compare yourself when you're a novice, but like, look, I don't have the experience. Everything that I've done on this channel is with like self-taught and experimental to say the least. But that's what makes it so much fun, is just kind of learning a craft that I've never in 1,000 years thought I would have been doing before now. But it's certainly amateur hour in a lot of aspects, but in other aspects, I'm really proud of what I've been able to perform and provide. So, you know what? I think overall, especially towards the end of Nine Souls, if you have any interest in a playthrough like that, Nine Souls, I'd say, is my best work at this point so far, and I'm really happy with what it's become. I don't think I need more max mana since I've got Solar Ring, and our special only takes 10 mana. Or I guess it's magic, not mana, but you're gonna learn very quickly that just like how I call Hangover in Hades 1 poison damage, I am gonna call magic in this game mana, or mana. There's no getting around it. It's just how my brain works with these sorts of tropes, and we'll go from there. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a casual voice actor, not by profession, and I never will be. Unfortunately, just my life path is kind of set for me at this point, and I don't have any background in acting, so it's just not a skill set that I'm really set for. I could do better than walking into all these laser beams. I've taken a fair bit of damage that could have been avoided. All right, ooh, Arctic Ring, that's pretty decent. Or I could just take cold storage for, these are all tempting. This would give me a nice little bit of survivability with each room. I'm definitely been prone to taking damage. But losing half of our magic is rough. Enemies being frozen for 4 out of the 10 seconds they have freeze on them is also really good. It won't work as well on bosses, which is where this falls off pretty hard. I think I'm going to take cold storage because I don't want to give up. I have too little mana, or too little magic to reliably benefit from that at this time. All right, let's see. Solar Ring, Backburner, Light Smite. I mean, these two are probably the best options because this gives me more damage, this gives me more survivability. Realistically speaking, I'm not going to be positioning behind enemies well enough to back attack them, so I think, yeah, I'll take Light Smite. It'll give us a little extra survivability in case I don't get dazed from the dash on enemies.
Headmistress.
There she is. You reached the edge of Erebus already. You have surpassed my expectations, Millennium.
My only goal is to beat Hecate. I don't necessarily expect to get much farther than that, but I want to try and get as far as I can on the first run and see how far we can take this. I think in my most recent playthrough, it took me about somewhere in the 4 to 7 attempt range to get my first clear. We'll see where we're at.
Thank you, Headmistress Hecate, for all your guidance and the compliment.
It was not a compliment, merely a point of fact. Though I would see firsthand a demonstration of your capability.
My capability? You'd have us face each other here, even though my task has already begun.
Your training shall never be complete. And I would know if you stand any chance at all against our enemy.
All right, here we go. Hecate. I've been doing a lot of Vow of Rivals type things, which is basically Hades 1's equivalent of extreme measures. And my goodness, Vow of Rivals Hecate is so difficult. They made her a lot harder in that form than in her base form. Her base form, I've definitely kind of gotten the patterns now. Where is the real one? Oh, I think I heard her voice coming from the right, for the left. Nope, I guessed wrong. You? No, it was you. Okay. Somehow I didn't see the damage numbers on her. I definitely think we can beat her. I can also use freeze to my benefit. It doesn't necessarily prevent her from attacking, but it does slow her down pretty substantially. I think the bulk of our damage is going to come from the Omega Special, though. Maybe toss out an Omega Cast here and there if she's going to run into it, which she did not. But that's first phase. Okay, so far so good. One other thing that I should mention, as based on my previous Hades, like my Hades 1 playthrough, one thing that I'm definitely going to keep kind of consistent with how it was in the past is basically every episode is going to be one run, save for in this game where I have to do a bunch of surface runs and just die rapid fire kind of style. Like those I'm not going to count as a single episode just because it feels kind of like a waste of an episode to have like 2 minutes of me dying just to get a little bit of story progress. So we'll when that becomes relevant, we'll make it happen. But generally it will be a run or a single run. There may be like 1 or 2 chaos trials if I do those, and then I will do what I call a town roundup, where I go back to town, say goodnight to the whole House of Hades, or the equivalent in this game, which I don't know, it's called the Crossroads, right? Oh, oof, just barely made that. There we go, cool. That never used to miss. It missed on the first try though. Did we get them? We got all of them. Okay. So I think we're pretty much in the clear at this point. We've made it past this. Admittedly, even if I do get hit by the orb, it's not that scary. It just kind of, I just have to focus on dodging for a bit. I've still absolutely taken far more damage than I should have, but Apollo's special carries the Staff of Melinoe early on. It's really good. It has a really high base damage. Unfortunately, we got lowest base damage possible, but then just the AoE makes this pretty reliable into mobs. We definitely could use more base damage. Unfortunately, we're fairly lacking in that regard. But we just have so much range. Could really do without all the damage I'm taking, but like I said, we just wanted to beat Hecate, and we can at least do that much. GG.
You fought with diligence and with ferocity, but surely there is more for you to learn beyond this threshold.
I look forward to it, Headmistress. What about you? Can you not join me?
No, I dare not stray too far from our abode. Continue now your task. I shall await your safe return.
All right, well,
Thank
it's
you,
not going to be safe for very long. Because we're going straight into Oceanus, and this is where everything is just going to fall apart, because our base damage is not great, and I'm going to have to play super safe to even have a chance at this. This is definitely a humbling and empty-looking middle, or like between floors area. I don't know what to call them. So, in-betweens for now, I suppose. But yeah, all right, there we go. Hecate complete. Let's see how far we can get. Can I make it? Oh, yep. This is where things get really difficult, unfortunately. This is why I didn't expect things to last much longer.
You're a long way from the Crossroads trouble. So this is where the real action is, huh? Weren't you supposed to still be practicing?
Things took a turn, Eris. You know how it goes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to.
Always in such a rush. I'd really hate to slow you down. Though, let's hang out sometime, okay? Have a great night. Oh, one last thing.
And this is where everything gets much more difficult.
What did she do to me?
The Curse of Eris. Your foes deal plus 20% more damage, and this grows each encounter, and I think it's by like 5%. So we really want to avoid encounters or things are going to be one-shotting us. Like even with all the HP I stockpiled just now, like one, look at we're doing a fifth of this enemy's HP with one Omega attack, which is not great. And then, or one Omega special rather. And it's not going to get much better from here, unfortunately. Our Omega attack does do a fair bit of damage. Maybe I try and lean into that a little bit. Just so Kiwi, I guess, since we've kind of done our introduction at this point, Kiwi, I think it's important that I talk about some mechanics so that you kind of start getting a sense of how things work in this game. Since I've not narrated a lot of the more mechanical side of this when you've watched me play casually at home, the most important thing to know is for the staff, most of the staffs, there are some staffs where this isn't necessarily the way to play it, but the optimal way to do it is, hold on one second.
Vaporized.
They killed themselves, so I can't demonstrate. I was not gonna dash in. I was gonna show you. I was gonna show you how things play out, but I'll do it in this room. So basically, dash into special is generally how you like to play the staff. It's especially early on before you kind of have a full build going on. That's probably your best option for the fastest DPS this weapon can offer with not much at base. Otherwise, we use our Omega Special, which has a ton of AoE on it, to wipe everything out. And if not our Omega Special, our Omega Attack. Demeter's attack and special, we took her attack in this instance. Its general effect is to increase or to cause freeze on enemies. The way freeze works is they have a status ailment that lasts for 10 seconds, but for the first two of those seconds, they are frozen in place and are literally unable to do anything. It's an extremely powerful boon set for the early game player, especially the casual player that's trying to get their first clear. I think I'm going to take this extra chamber or this extra fight in the hopes that it provides us with a bit of HP up. Could really use a Centaur Heart if I could get one. Since we don't have any form of tight deadline going on, or the, I guess it's Vow of Time in this game. Let's see, do we get the HP? We'd get a shop. Honestly, we'd take the shop because there could be HP there, and there certainly is going to be a boon. Another Apollo boon, no HP. There's Aphrodite. We only have cast left. Honestly, Rapture Ring is not a bad option here. Her Aphrodite's cast for context, but I feel like Apollo is actually better because we could potentially be set up for his legendary. And his legendary would help us out a lot. So let's see. Extra dose back burner, I guess. Extra dose is really bad. A 5% chance for your attack to hit twice really does not matter in most instances. Backburner at least has a 50% damage, but it's contextual. I think I'd probably take that. I don't think I am set up for Apollo's legendary, but we are kind of stacking at this point. I may as well commit fully.
This isn't your domain.
I'm going to take care of this guy's friends first because I don't want to let them have an excuse to do extra damage to me. Oh gosh, projectiles. So where was I? So Kiwi. So the basic idea of most of Demeter's core boons, meaning attack, special, dash. Well, not her dash, but attack, special, and cast. Their effect is to freeze the enemy. In the 8 seconds where they are not frozen, I can't freeze them again. But and it does. It's pretty weak against boss. The duration is pretty short, unfortunately. Oops! Wow, that hurt. That hurt a lot. I mean, it makes sense. We have unfortunately been cursed by Eris. I don't actually know what is better for DPS here. If I should just keep charging my, just keep attacking. I think this enemy I can hit stun lock, so I just want to alternate attack and my attack chain into my special and then restart. All right, Apollo, give us something good. Extra dose, solar ring, perfect image. Perfect image is damage up. I think that will help us the most right now. I feel like we're missing a lot of Apollo's boons that I would want more. We're going to be prioritizing Ash early on. Ashes allow us to unlock Arcana cards, which are our equivalent of the Mirror of Night from Hades 1. We'll want as many of those Arcana cards as possible, and to get that we need Grasp. So Grasp lets us upgrade the number of Arcana we can choose. Each Arcana has kind of a cost to it, and once we exceed that cost, we can't take more. To unlock more slots effectively, or more points to spend on those Arcana cards, we need Grasp, which we have not been offered yet and likely won't see until our second run. we are in our weakest form that we will ever be on in this playthrough, frankly. And that's to be expected. That's how roguelites tend to be, right? But we'll spiral out of control once we get the strength card and we get origination. Those are probably two of the strongest possible things we could get. Poseidon is not really appealing here. We'll go for the HP up because I am definitely hurting for some HP, and we have not been so lucky as to see it yet in a way that would really benefit us. Basically, the way I have to play here is I have to play super safe from a range. Kind of boring, but hey, I want to push my limits. I want to see how far I can get. Cerberus is not going to let us play super safe. Cerberus has a lot of really strong projectiles, so we'll see how things go. But yeah, oh well, we're down to our last bit of HP, which is not a good sign. Let's put a hope that we can at least beat Scylla. Let's see if we can beat Scylla. Gotta keep my distance. I can use terrain to kill things for myself as well. Another important base mechanic to understand is your cast. Unlike in Hades 1, where you throw a projectile, your cast in Hades 2 is actually something you drop on the ground. And most importantly, it locks enemies in place. It slows bosses, and it basically immobilizes enemies. It doesn't stop them from attacking, though, so you gotta be careful about that. But it does offer us some pretty sizable protection and ability to kite. More HP sounds great. We'll go ahead and take that. This is a lot of enemies. It's definitely a little sketchy. So as we've demonstrated, the Omega Special does not do a lot of damage, it does a fair bit of damage rather. It just doesn't do as much damage as our Omega attack. So Omegas are your attacks, specials, and casts. When you hold down the button that uses them, it will charge up, consume magic, and launch out a variation on the base ability that does still scale with the associated boon. So the attack boon affects the Omega attack, the Omega special boon affects the Omega special, or sorry, the special boon affects the Omega special, so on and so forth. It makes sense, as it should. There are hammers that, if you remember Daedalus hammers, they're back in this game. They will function in a similar way. Some will affect both. Some will affect only attack or Omega and not the other. So it's kind of weird how they describe it. It's basically, do they say your attack is benefited by this, or are your attacks plural? And that's how you can tell if it's base attack or Omega attack and attack. Let's see, we've got the end shop. We'll go here because there's one more boon we can potentially get from the shop. Demeter is showing up. There is HP, and I can afford both, so I'm going to take both.
In the name of
That sets us up as best as we could possibly be here. Arctic Gale, steady growth. I think, honestly, Arctic Gale slowing enemies down doesn't sound bad here. We already have a pretty reliable freeze on our attack, so I think I'll take Gale.
cool and brisk.
All right, here we go. Boss number 2.
Oh, no way. No way. Look at Gal's a lady. Ladies never come to see our shows. You must be different. What's your name? Oh, make yourself comfy. We're just about to start, aren't we, Gals?
I love Scylla's voice. She's so fun. Also, singer of the best song in the game.
Sirens. I should have known you were the source of all that singing. Slinked down into the underworld, have you?
Coral Crown is hands down my favorite song in this game that I've heard thus far. There are definitely plenty of others that I have not heard.
It's the perfect pressure down here. Beats the pressure trying to make art while all our fans are watching, begging, Scylla, where's your next song?
Also very much appreciate that characters from the Odyssey are in this game. Considering I read the Iliad a while back. I actually never read the Odyssey, but we listened to Epic the Musical together on a pretty long car ride, and that was pretty great.
Don't you drown your so-called fans to death? Have you even got any left?
And even if it leaves out some of the details, it was really fun to kind of get the cliff notes, if you will, with beautiful songs, fantastic performances all around. Highly recommended if you have any interest in Greek mythology, obviously with Hades, adjacent things, and want some good music to listen to on repeat, probably.
Don't ever say such things about our fans. Oh, hey, Gals, let's say we give her the old song and dance.
All right, so Kiwi, you will see that this is my go-to strategy in almost every instance is Roxy terrifies me, and we go for her first. Roxy is the drummer, Jetty is the guitarist, and Scylla is our lead vocalist. What I love about this song is, I believe the term is diegetic music. these ladies, they sing, or I guess they're not really, I don't know, I guess you would call them ladies still. They sing together, and when they die, or when you knock them out, they stop singing, which I think is really cool. Oh gosh, Jetty. All right, so we lost Perfect Image, which is the Apollo boon that makes us take more deal more damage if we don't get hit. That's fine. We really just want to take out Roxy as soon as possible. She's the zoner of the group. She has a bunch of projectiles that are just kind of really annoying and force you into positions you'd rather not be in. Jetty is honestly a lot less threatening overall, until maybe Battle of Rivals happens, and then she becomes just as obnoxious, although I would still argue that Roxy is my nightmare character. Scylla kind of just does her own thing. Classic lead singer. I actually have no frame of reference what lead singers are like. Or I guess technically I do. I have a friend who was the lead singer of a band, but I don't know. I have very little, if any, performing experience whatsoever. Like, this is the most performative I have ever been. Unless you argue my performances at work, which I guess you could argue work is a performance in and of itself, I suppose, when you're working with, like, client interaction sort of things, but it is what it is. I don't know. It's not the same, right? You're not putting on a show. You're putting on a I don't even know what you'd call it. Also, kind of another just point in the favor of diegetic music. Scylla, when she is in her clamshell and still singing, she gets muted, which I really like. I really like Supergiant Games. Just has so much polish to their work, and I very much appreciate everything they put out. Granted, I've largely played only Hades and Hades 2 at this point. I've played a bit of Pyre. I have not played Bastion or Transistor, but I need to play Transistor especially, just to kind of appreciate properly the origins from which a lot of the, I think, gameplay elements that Hades has taken inspiration from, or like, I at some point on this channel will absolutely just go through the whole pantheon of Supergiant Games. Pantheon's a cute term to use considering the Greek mythology that they've leaned into pretty hard here. But I never did finish Pyre, and I really, really want to. I think this is the longest I've ever listened to Coral Crown outside of like a YouTube on repeat sort of scenario. This is definitely different compared to that. I feel like our Omega attack does more damage, even if it takes a little bit longer to launch. Feels a bit better to use here, and the AoE is pretty decent. These guys are conveniently just sitting here letting me wail on them. They just gave me really good positioning. And I am iframing through so many hits that I should have, like, I have every reason to have gotten hit by so many of those moves. I'm really lucky. All right, Roxy should be taken care of. Here's the thing that makes Roxy so scary for me. Well, we killed her before we could really appreciate it. But Roxy does, basically she marks pretty much the entire room as a place of death if you're not careful. I think, did we kill Jetty as well? Okay, they both died. I guess because we were just wailing on them for so long together. We, oh, can I back attack you when you're like this? You look like you're, no, I can't, okay. It looked like I could back attack her that way. So the really annoying thing about Scylla is you cannot back attack her ever, which is really frustrating because there's a weapon that will unlock eventually that is entirely centered around back attacks, and it basically gets invalidated by this boss. Like, there are plenty of enemies that don't have that issue, but it seems kind of silly. I don't fully appreciate that. I don't necessarily agree with it. So we're on to the final phase. This is where Scylla just starts spawning all of her little friends. Our cast becomes invaluable here, and also our ability to have Apollo's Dash make things possibly miss us. AoEs are king here, which we apparently knocked. I thought she respawns them. Okay, she does. I'll be honest with you, this is probably the longest a Scylla fight has ever taken me ever, because in my previous playthrough I did not make it this far. But all right, second floor down. We're making really good progress.
That's quite enough.
And I have a surprising amount of HP. Granted, we get to the final boss, he's gonna one-shot us with the amount of damage we take from the Eris Curse. Like, let's look at that real quick. What is our? We are now taking 55% increased damage. It's just so unfair. I really wish they hadn't done this. Like, I understand they want you to take the game slow, really appreciate the characters, the story, and not necessarily get the major story progress for a bit longer. And so Eris is here to kind of gatekeep, girl boss gatekeep, whatever it is. Gaslight, that's it. Gaslight.
Beyond the bridge. Seek there a pathway down.
Gaslight.
That's more than usual.
Gaslight girl boss gatekeep. I don't know. It's a phrase that is lost on me. I think unfortunately, when you have one bit of dialogue going, it cancels out a difference. So one of the things that I think is really cool about this game is that there are a bunch of like things that you like there are a bunch of overlooks that Mel has custom dialogue to make comments about when you're experiencing them. Anyway, the crossroads are really scary when you don't kill things fast because there are a lot of things that hurt, and you're already at reduced or increased damage taken because of Eris's curse. So we're going to be struggle busing a bit here. I also will acknowledge that the early episodes in the series will definitely be longer than the later episodes just because the runs inherently are slower. I have much less damage, much less things unlocked. So expect the episodes to be longer early on, and as we get stronger through just basic progress, hopefully a bit less long. So we're currently in the Crossroads, or not the Crossroads. Is it called the Crossroads? No, it's not. I'm blanking on it. The Fields of Mourning. That's it. Fields of Mourning. We're in the Fields of Mourning. The important thing to know about the Fields of Mourning is they are huge, and they have a bunch of little. They can have a bunch of little rewards worth picking up. Without a means of finding them reliably, I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to hunt for them, but I probably will because we need every little bit of thing in our favor just to get a win. At this point, if I beat this floor boss, I am more than satisfied with our progress. I really do not expect to get a first clear on the first run of the series, frankly. I don't expect it till at least run 4. That seems about my bare minimum of expectation. And the runs early on are going to be slow, unfortunately. But that is the very nature of how roguelites be. You're not meant to win early on, and if you do, well, that's really cool. I mean, there's hope for it here, considering I've definitely never made it this far before on the amount of resources that I have available. Anyway, so what else is there to say? So I was recommending Epic the Musical, still recommend that. If I'm talking about favorite song from that, it's absolutely Get in the Water. Basically everything that Poseidon singer sings, I have a soft spot for. Sorry, not Get in the Water, what am I saying? What is it called? Ruthlessness, there we go. Ruthlessness is my favorite song, hands down. Played on repeat in my brain rent-free for so very long. And likely still will for some time. I will admit I definitely misheard the lyrics for the longest time. I thought ruthlessness is mercy upon our sails, like the sails of a ship. I now understand that's mercy upon ourselves, which absolutely makes sense, but I think my interpretation was relatively, reasonable too. It makes sense that Poseidon would be singing about sails, considering his vocation, if you want to call it that, I suppose. All right, we got max magic, we got coin. There's, speak of the devil, there's Poseidon in a mini boss room. Poseidon, I will say, in this game is not one of the strongest gods. He's one of those gods that you need to build upon himself, similar in vein to Zeus. He does not feel great with other gods in tow. If you want to build Poseidon, you focus on Poseidon. We are very clearly focusing on Apollo. I don't see, oh hey, speaking of which, there's Apollo. All right, I don't see any other mini rewards, so it's basically Poseidon or Apollo. We go Apollo.
This one feels right.
Which boss do we get? I hope, okay, good. We got Lamias. Lamias are a lot less scary than the other boss we could have seen, in my opinion. The other boss hits like a truck, and his attacks come out relatively quick. I think I have a better understanding of how he works now than I did when I did my early access playthrough. But this is definitely my preferred boss. I'm going to take out her friends because the fewer things I have to contend with, the better. And then I can just focus her down. Once I break her armor, I can just kind of chain attack her and hit stun her to death. Would really enjoy getting a cast that does damage, though. Apollo's cast isn't great. Really, we need another god. We need our last god in the god pool to really round things out. The cast from Demeter is redundant with our attack, and Apollo's cast isn't really amazing. It does flat damage and inflicts daze, which is great, but the base damage is pretty low, so it's not that appealing to me. I don't know what you're doing, and I don't like it, so I'm gonna bail out. Okay, it's just a projectile that chases me, that's fine. Again, I will say, because I lack damage, things are gonna be different from what I'm used to, I would say. Right, I forgot. I want to focus on back attacks because I do more damage on back attacks. 360 damage isn't bad, but our overall DPS is really hurting. We could use a duo. We could really benefit from a duo or a legendary. If we got Apollo's legendary, we'd be set. I don't actually know if we can get it on the first run. It feels like it might be a little too strong. All right, there we go. Apollo, give us something good. Your legendary, in fact? Nope. Okay, Supernova, cast expand until they expire, cast inflicts daze. That's 120 base damage. That's actually pretty substantial. I think I'm going to take that. We need more damage. We need more damage, and that feels like damage, or that is objectively damage. It's effectively double damage for what double the damage we were dealing, so I'll take it. This is likely the mid shop. Any collectibles around these area? I really appreciate one of the things they do in this game is that they will tell you when collectibles are on the field once you have acquired the ability for that to tell you. All right, here we go. Another Apollo boon, if you don't mind. We're running out of things we can get. Prominence Slayer is actually not incredible in terms of DPS, but it's a little bit more. I'll go ahead and take it. All right, where to next? HP and Palmer. Hestia. Oh, man, now I regret taking Apollo's cast because Hestia's cast is incredible for me. I think it does a ton of damage. I don't know. I feel like I should go HP. I really don't want to turn down Hestia, though. Hestia is probably my favorite god in the game. I think she's so fun as a character, and her boons are really strong. They took Scorch, which was one of the worst curses in the game, and made it incredible to play with. But I think HP is more important here. Hestia is bestia. Let's go.
Petals from a golden bough.
Hopefully the gold that we get from this chamber will allow me to purchase something from the shop. Charon has been pretty lax in offering us Centaur Hearts thus far on the run. Admittedly, we're going to be at the point where 1 or 2 hits from the final boss, assuming we even get there, are just going to one-shot us, or two-shot us, rather. But we will see. I'm running the outskirts first in case there are any fun pickups. Here's the eggs, and here's the coin. All right, we'll take the coin first. Oh, well, there is our mini-boss from the first floor. Love it. Love to see her there. The boon I want most from Hestia is a boon that makes us throw fireballs from our special. Since we're constantly spamming our special, that would serve us very well. I'm gonna take these things out. They're not part of what I need to kill, but all right. I don't think I got her in my cast, unfortunately. Oh shoot, I'm running into terrain there. There are a lot of things that are scary here and I don't like. Probably try and use my Omega cast. Honestly, I can cheese this. Hold on, look at this. Drop the cast, dash out. Oh, hold on, let's get rid of this thing. That's gonna surprise attack me at some point in the run if I'm not careful. Anyway, so I was talking about Epic the Musical. So like I said, objectively speaking, Ruthlessness is hands down my favorite song in the entire musical, with Get in the Water growing on me rapidly just because I find it funny to just tell people randomly, get in the water. See, I think my recent Poseidon sword run on Hades 1. Get out of here. Okay, we should be able to hit stun her now. That should break her armor. Okay. So if I attack, special, attack, special, attack, special, there we go. We can just hit stun her to death. Unfortunately, we did take a lot of damage there, which is really unfortunate. We need to find that Hestia boon. There it is, and I can't go that way because I'll get clipped by a bunch of vines. Here we go. Actually, I'm going to take out these extra enemies first. Last thing I need is outside problems to my otherwise success. Granted, it may not actually be successful, but there we go. Okay, anything? I'll quickly scour this area too, because it feels like there's a little bit of coin. Okay. Trying not to take damage and mostly succeeding. Anyway, so yeah, the other thing is like on the main. On the original upload of Get in the Water, I did make a comment of Get in the Water Shinji, like in reference to Neon Genesis Evangelion and the meme that everyone parrots where Shinji just is so ambivalent about what he wants to do and what he needs to do. And everyone's telling him to get in the damn robot, so I thought it was funny. It's not that incredible, but I got a chuckle out of it in the moment, and that's worth enough for me. I feel like we're not finding any more resources, so let's go collect that Hestia boon at long last. Whoop, hello. That was almost a free hit. All right, Hestia, if you would do us the honors of giving us your wonderful fireball, which I forget the name of. Also, where are you? There you are. Hello. Oh, right, I have to kill things first. Forgot about that minor detail. Yeah, it would be pretty funny on this build to just get the Hestia fireball on top of a light ball that we're firing from Apollo. One can only hope. We'll see how this plays out. What other songs did I really like? So I know you are a really big fan of the song that the Cyclops sings at the start. I'm blanking on the name. Oh man, but Polyphemus, like they did such a good job of making Polyphemus sound so threatening for what he is in that musical. And like I'm a little unappealing, like the auto-tuning on his voice I find a little bit unappealing. Like in general, I'm not a big fan of auto-tuning when it's obvious, but like it's supposed to be this big, inhuman, echoing kind of voice, so it does a good job at what it's intended to do, so I'm not gonna fault it too heavily.
True.
All right, let's see, Hestia.
Fire goddess never got involved. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Hestia, come to me.
Well, look at you, hot stuff. Come to help the elderly. Oh, what a good girl you are. And here I was, just about to burn this whole blasted place to the ground myself. Now, here's a little warm-up for ya.
I really love how they scripted Hestia. She's just like this cozy granny who wants to light everything on fire, and I find that immediately amusing. Let's see, glowing coal, controlled, there it is, controlled burn. Your Omega special launches a fireball but uses an extra 10 mana, or magic. That's a bit rough for us, but we don't use much magic at all, and it basically doubles our damage, so we will gladly take that. And a couple palm levels on it adds up very quickly. Assuming we're definitely not going to be prioritizing palms here. We want to prioritize HP, we want to prioritize boons, because that will likely lead us to our greatest success. There's our end shop. I will buy the boon unless there is a very appealing alternative. Also, at this point, palms are just not likely going to hit the things we want them on. All right, here's the challenge here. Do I take the Hestia boon or do I go for the HP? Because Cerberus is going to hurt a lot. We are at 80% increased damage. We're basically, one of the vows is almost maxed out, and we're going to exceed that by the time we get through Tartarus, if we even make it there. We got the main thing we want from Hestia, I think. I think I take the HP and play safe. We'll take the palm may as well then. Oh, and we did get it on a controlled burn, which is amazing for us. Okay. That increases its damage by a whole 50%. All right, there's the big boy himself. Oh, hello. Whoa. I was not ready for that attack. I thought there was going to be some dialogue. I forgot that Cerberus does not actually talk here. All right. Drop my Omega cast, bail out. Oh, shoot, he hits for 45. Okay, yeah. This is probably where the run ends, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll see how far we can get. I just need to play safer, because I misjudged the range he has on us, and I need to... Oh, dearie me! I really need to be careful about those angry... I don't actually know what they're called, but the clouds of sadness that this area has. I will admit Cerberus is probably one of my weakest bosses in terms of like overall understanding of how he works. Just trying to get what damage I can. I do not want that enemy alive next to me. Oh gosh, we're gonna bail out here. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of things. Kiwi. All right, I'm gonna stop using my Omega attack, or sorry, my Omega cast. I don't think it's the right thing to use here. It does not, it objectively does less damage than whatever else we're doing. Hello. Oh no, I'm gonna get, oh my goodness, iframes. Oh. Okay, this is very stressful. Okay. We haven't even made it to through the first phase, but we are somehow timing our dashes perfectly to not take damage. But this is so stressful, Kiwi. Oh boy. I really don't expect to make it through this. I really don't. I have no right to do so. Okay, we are one shot from death. I do think this is probably where the run falls. I think what I need to do is stop going within melee distance of Cerberus. All right, oh, every time he does that, it's so stressful. We haven't even gotten to his fire breath mechanic, which is absolutely going to be the thing that kills me if I'm not careful. It is very nice that we got what is it? I already forgot what it was called. Controlled burn, maybe? That does help us a fair bit. Oh, I ran right into that and took 72 damage. There we go. There's the run. But hey, honestly, making it to Cerberus on the first run with like no damage, no Arcana, everything against us, that felt pretty good. And I had a lot of fun. I also got to have a nice little bit of commentary for the first episode. All right, Kiwi. Well, let's, as I said before, we're going to do our house roundup at the end of the episode and then head into the next recording.
That was my family's dog. It has to be. I have to help him.
Also, Kiwi, in case you forgot, Freenos, Kiwi, Freenos. Freenos is best frog. And then we have best girl.
Who dares disturb my eternal rest? You trifle with powers far beyond your comprehension, witch.
Like,
That was pretty decent, right, Mel? Maybe pushing it. Calling you witch like that.
I don't, like, you know me, I am a ghost type trainer at heart. I love ghost Pokemon. I like ghost aesthetic. And I love gremlin energy, and that is what Dora is. A ghost with gremlin energy.
Solid haunting all in all, Dora. And I thought the witch part worked. But I'd better go. Something I have to do.
Then be gone.
Be gone.
This old unfinished painting. Don't look away. Don't forget all that the Titan took from you.
I appreciate that baby Mel looks like Onion from Steven Universe. If anyone hasn't noticed that before, forgive me for
Stand tall and show no weakness.
potentially giving you something that cannot be unseen. All right, well, there I am.
Yeah.
Hello.
'Twas a worthwhile first attempt, Malinois. I trust you'd have gone farther still had I not obstructed your path. Quite unsuccessfully, I concede.
Honestly, Hecate, you were not the gatekeeper here. It was Eris, and it will continue to be Eris for the next number of runs. She shows up in each zone 3 times before she goes to the next. The fact that I made it to the Fields of Mourning may mean she does not show up in Oceanus anymore. I'm not sure how that works. I forget.
You needed to ensure I was prepared. And I know there is much left to prove.
Just so. Trust well your instincts and your craft and continue the task. Death to Kronos.
What? Death to who?
Death to Kronos.
Death to Kronos. Okay. Let's go ahead and just meet all the characters.
Crossroads, that haven hidden twixt the surface and the underworld, conceals those still loyal to Lord Hades, rightful ruler of the dead.
And now I claim
Together we'll retake my father's realm.
I claim there are a bunch of best characters, but like there are so many good characters here. Like, it's just a lot of fun.
Tell me you killed the bastard. Drove your staff into his wretched skull, slid a dagger in his gut. Not that he'd die from that. Works on mortals, though.
No, didn't see Kronos at all, friend, but we did see one of your exes.
Kronos, the Titan of Time, is vanquished, Odysseus. I have his head right here. At least, I wish I did.
Actually, I guess calling Scylla your ex is inappropriate, considering one of the major plot points of the Odyssey was that Odysseus was remained loyal to Penelope the whole story. I think that's in poor taste to say Scylla is his ex, but you know.
Well, you'll get him next time, I reckon.
Especially considering she ate some of his friends.
Hi, gang. Headmistress must have some important tasks for you.
Or I guess the Hydra did, but still, at Scylla's behest. I'm a little unclear because I only have the musical to go off. There's our best buddy from Hades 1.
We'll find a way to wake you, O sleep. I promise.
It's so good to be back and fresh and enjoying this game. I'm really looking forward to seeing where the story goes, especially the parts that I have not seen.
Already hit a wall. Knocked your scrawny ass all the way back here. It's insane that she's sending you out on foot, all on your own.
You're fortunate you have even this responsibility for all your questioning of orders and complaining.
Oh, shut up.
Nemesis is so salty all the time.
Hail, Shades. Our fight is just getting started.
If you ever need a reference for how what Kiwi's aesthetic is, it is Nemesis, it is Hecate, and it is Femme Chaos from this game.
My altar.
Wait till we see Chaos. They gave Chaos such a glow up in this one.
Headmistress lent me the Arcana.
All right, so we have enough grass to start unlocking Arcana, and we're gonna make our lives a lot easier immediately. Honestly, having a little bit of sustain feels great until we are getting one shot, so I'm gonna take the damage up, honestly. Our goal is likely to just get HP as soon as, or get origination as soon as possible. Fastest way to do that. This will unlock one of the Arcana I really like. Honestly, actually, Death Defiance, as we're doing that. One extra Death Defiance. That gives us a lot longer of survivability. I would really, really like to buy the Messenger. If you didn't notice in Cerberus, I was dropping my cast defensively, and this is why. Your casts momentarily make you impervious and move 50% faster. That impervious is actually basically just another dash. It's so useful. But in the meantime, what we have unlocked, the Sorceress. Your Omega moves are 20% faster. Very useful considering the type of run we were trying to have on the last attempt. The Furies. You deal 20% more damage to your foes in casts when they're standing in your cast. Also very useful given our previous playstyle. Persistence. I get 20 more max HP and max mana or magic. That's also very helpful. And of course, Death. You have 1 Death Defiance. Now when I die, I get a little bit of HP back and I try again.
Disciples, attention!
And there he is, the legend himself, Skelemius. It is good to see you yet again.
At last. But this is war, young one, and you have many battles yet to come. The only question is, are you prepared to win? I'm not so sure here, so let's see you give me 20!
Commander Skelemius, sir, you're certain it's acceptable for me to strike you 20 times in front of all your students?
Dead certain. Now hit me with everything you got.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. That's 12. I can math. 16, 20. There you go, buddy.
Enough. Unless you want to keep going.
Oh, do I? Maybe later, Skelly. All right. And here is we can unlock here are all the new weapons we can unlock. We will unfortunately not have any of these resources for a little bit of a while, although in our next run we likely will start getting access to them. We have no keepsakes to speak of. Did I actually
That heirloom storage case over there.
I did see mention of possibly already having a... Yeah, I have 1 nectar. Okay, who would I give this to? Knuckle Bones, I think you get from Odysseus. That's really good, but I think I'm going to just take Lucky Tooth. I think I'll take Lucky Tooth early on.
Commander, though it falls to us to keep the old traditions alive, may you partake of this nectar, unburdened by the weight of its significance.
Or I suppose Luckier Tooth.
I'm most appreciative of both the offering and of the sentiment, and I summarily shall do my part.
Behold!
The luckiest of my possessions is in your possession now.
The word behold will be forever cursed because of the Lorenz mug videos. Again, check out the cursed playlist if you don't know what I'm talking about. It is an experience of intentional jank. Anyway, Kiwi, that is our first episode of Hades 2 with many more to come. If Hades 1 is any representation of what to expect, we're in for at least a good 100, if not 150 episodes before I get tired of this game. And even then, I kept going for quite a while with a lot of fun things to do. We'll push heat, we'll push fear in this game for sure. With all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you are sleeping, I hope you are sleeping well. I love you. It is good to be seeing a new game. Look forward to Pikmin after 9 Souls completes, and then after that, probably Clear Obscure. By time this video is uploaded, actually, now that I realize it, 9 Souls has 3 more episodes to go at the time of recording, so never mind. Surprise, Clear Obscure coming up soon. Look forward to it. See you in the next one, Kiwi. Sleep well.